Alright y'all, it's been a while since we made a video with the 3, a build update, anything, so basically gonna be going over all the stuff I've been doing in the car in the last, like 7 months since I've done the last video with the wheels and tires. So last time you guys saw the car was when I got these on, the Octane DSO2s. Since then, obviously, you know, car is actually low now. It's on Raceline Primo coilovers. Basically the nicest Racelines you can get, even though they're still like 600 something bucks. This is about a 2.5 inch drop all around. I have plans for going lower, but for right now, that's what it's at. And as you can see, there is not a huge gap there. There's actually some residue on the fender because with more than one person in the car and if I hit a bump on the freeway, these do rub in the back. As you can see, there's a little bit of natural camber just from lowering it, but I do need to run a few more degrees just so they don't rub. The front actually doesn't rub at all, really, at least as far as I know. Even though the front is actually poking out more than the rear. Front is actually pretty close clearance wise, though. It's pretty flush right now. I keep constantly having to adjust my shutter speed because all the lighting around here. But it's pretty flush right now. I do want to tuck tire, basically go lip to fender, not like touching, but that level of fitment. Next mod I did after that, and probably one of my favorite mods on the car since I started modifying it, honestly, is these. You guys can see these are Gen 1 Mazda Speed 3 seats. These are not the Grand Touring ones with the leather and Alcantara. These are from a 2007, so they do have the gray fabric pattern in the middle, not the black that came on the later cars. These pretty much bolt right in. They're direct bolt in except for the bolt that is right there by the seatbelt harness. Honestly, if you just torque down all the other 3 bolts, I haven't had any issues with these moving. I picked these up off a guy in the Bay Area. $320 for the front 2 seats, and you know, my camera gear back here, and the rear bench seat, which actually has a decent amount of bolstering in it for a rear seat. After that, I guess you're looking at right now, the next thing I did was side skirts. These are from Basin R. They are based in San Jose, and they got here like 2 days after I ordered them, which is really nice. Obviously they're unpainted. This side is actually like scraping the body right here and leaving some scrape marks I need to patch up. This had adhesive on it. There's an adhesive strip that goes between the skirt and then the side molding here. And I think I bottomed out on like a driveway, and it moved the skirt a little bit, and it disconnected that adhesive, and basically it's just sitting like this now. The fitment is okay. You can see in the front here, I did have to sand this down a little bit, and they're dirty right now, so I did have to sand that down. Even then, it's not perfect. It basically just bolts in right between the fender liner and the fender there. This side me and my friend didn't really do a good job on this. As you can see, it's cracked a little bit. It was like $160 for both skirts, I think. The other side we actually did pretty good. They don't give you tap screws, but we did that just to make sure they don't move, because honestly the adhesive they give you is pretty weak. So I'd highly recommend using tap screws if you guys plan on doing these. After that, next thing I did was the rear lip. Also from Basin R. I basically got the whole Basin R Aero kit. Just makes the car look a lot, first of all, a lot lower to the ground, because if you look over here, where the rear bumper ends and then where the skirt starts is pretty far off. So the rear lip kind of has that little accent that was missing from the car. After that, based on our wing, also unpainted and plastic. All these are just unpainted ABS plastic. I'm gonna get them painted soon. So obviously a Speed 3 style wing with the clear lens, taillight, LEDs. Fitment's pretty good. Doesn't squeak or rattle at all. They give you some little adhesive strips to make sure that doesn't happen. After that, went ahead and did the spider fog lights, OEM style, that came on the higher trim level cars. The instructions they give you for these are pretty not like good. Basically, the way I wired these up was since I have the Spec D lights with the quote DRLs, they're not really DRLs, but basically I just wired them into the DRLs, so when you turn those on, it also turns the fog lights on. There's a DRL there. Turns the fog lights on. Since I figured if I'm going to have the DRLs on, the fog lights are probably going to want to be on anyway. Otherwise, I would have had to run a wire and then the little button through the firewall, which I really didn't want to do. Next up, something I've been wanting to do for a while. These. The OEM clear tails, I like to call them. The OEM LED clear lens taillights, which are surprisingly hard to find. I've had pick and pull notifications set up for almost a year now, more than a year actually, and I have only just found a set in the Sacramento area, and obviously we got the clear tail sticker going. They're like 80% clear. They just got this red reflector on the side, and there is a guy on Instagram in Washington that is able to like clear this completely, so I might have him do that. I also bought another set of just regular halogen tail lights that I plan to experiment with and tear apart, see what we can do with just removing the reflector and like putting some acetone on it to remove that red tint. I don't think I did this yet. Keys Racing shift knob from Japan. Took like 2 months to get here. Just a suede shift boot, even though it's not a manual. I just didn't like the look of it, like just like this with an automatic shift gate. My latest acquisition is actually these. These are side mirrors from the Grand Touring trim cars with the LED blinker in them. So I only got one because the other one was cracked. So right now I have one black mirror and one gray one. So I have mismatched mirrors for right now, so I'm waiting until I get a notification for another one in stock. I also do have a front lip that's actually in my garage right now. It's from Racing Bees in Canada. There's actually only 3 lips I can find that are for the facelifted 3 with the different fog light housings and the less sharp, more rounded grille. 2 of them are from a Canadian company called Racing Bees. One is the K-style, which is like the Ken style Japan kit for the pre-facelift, and then there's the JP style, which is actually a Mazda dealer accessory from way back when this car was new. Then there's also one from Garage Vari or Garage Vari that looks really nice, and it actually accentuates the little teeth, but it's $1,000 shipped from Japan, so I'm not doing that for a lip that's going to get scraped up. So I need to get that painted to 38R graphite mica, along with the side skirts and the Speed 3 wing. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff I've done with the 3. Some stuff coming up. It's all kind of still up in the air. I'm not sure how much more money I want to dump into this thing. Looking at other cars, I kind of want to get an RX-8 or an NC Miata, but you know, it's all up in the air. I plan on keeping this as a daily for a while, so we'll see about it. But for right now, it's all stuff I've done to it. currently at 121,105 miles, so yeah, it's all looking good. Got other car documentaries, or not documentaries, other short films I want to do that I'm working on as well, so stay tuned for those. And yeah, it'll all be put together at some point in the future. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about the 3 for now, and I'll see you guys then.